The state Supreme Judicial Court recently upheld the constitutionality of the MBTA Communities Zoning Act, something which has been opposed by some communities, including Marshfield. And joining us now is the town administrator, Michael Maresco. Mr. Maresco, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Dan. I'm happy to be here with you.
So let me just get your initial reaction to this ruling.
Well, I wasn't surprised. I mean, we've said all along, and we've been, putting the message out there all the way back to the spring town meeting and most recently at the December 16th special town meeting, town council, myself, the select board, a number of our boards that, we felt that the court would come down with this ruling. They have. Now it's all about moving forward and how we do that.
Now, before we get to that, the governor has said they are going to be working on some new regulations and guidelines. What are you expecting there?
Well, they're going to do that. I mean, I think the first is, it's ruled constitutional. So because it's ruled constitutional, the Attorney General has that authority to sue towns to force them to comply. Now, they mandated back to the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, they have to redo their regulations. I don't anticipate many changes. I think we'll see the same things just codified under the law to follow the Administrative Procedures Act. So I think we'll be right back to the same position.
And what are the town's next steps going to be?
Well, I think from the town's perspective, we want to take a look at and let's see how the process moves forward. Right now, we want to take a look at, the Executive Office of Livable Communities is going to have to tweak the regulations. We want to see what those are going to look like. We want to see when they get promulgated. Then, I've instructed all of our department heads to continue to apply for grants. Right now, we're not eligible for any of those grants for dredging, beach nourishment, harbor improvement, seawalls, etc. Negatively, that could impact us by $5, $6, $7 million a year, depending on the particular projects. But, we want to keep applying for those dollars.
Now, the Attorney General has said she's willing to meet with local communities and work with them. Do you anticipate any future meetings with the Attorney General over this matter?
Well, yes. First, before we could meet with her, we want to take a look at, what are the regulations? Are the regulations going to be exactly what's there, but just promulgated in a way that make them compliant with the Administrative Procedure Act, or did they change something? I think we want to take a look at that. Certainly we'd be open to having the Attorney General come out and, talk to us. We want to do everything, but at the end of the day, if we want to get the money, we have to be compliant. Under the law, we had to create 1,158 housing units, and that's based off a census number, 10% of the housing town-wide, based on the U.S. Census numbers. And we had the district, the planning department, Greg Guimont did pick an area of town where that could fit and was the least disruptive. It ran from Marshfield High School down to School Street on the heading out of town. So.
All right, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. And do you think the town meeting will be approving anything? Will that have to go before town meeting again, I imagine?
Well, Dan, depending upon what happens, we would have to go back to town. So, right now, the law is constitutional. The only thing that needs to be clarified are the regulations through the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. Once we see that, then I'm sure that the Select Board will have a discussion about what steps they want to take moving forward. I'm sure that, the Planning Department will take a look at it. We'll get together and have more communication, more education for our residents, and then if the appetite's there, the one way to be in compliance is you would have to go back to town meeting to have that zone officially created by the legislative branch of government. So time will tell.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, Dan.